Hello, my name's Ben, and my family have sponsored a child in Malawi called Culture. We sponsored him for a couple of months, and we had about 2 or 3 letter exchanges before I had the amazing opportunity to go and meet him as part of the trip that St Paul's were doing. And it was really, really special, and it made a huge impact on me. And we first saw him when we were doing the feeding program at Chipapwete, which is one of the schools there. And we were just doing the feeding program, and Culture was in this massive crowd of students, and he was really, really excited to come and see us. And he found us among the crowd, and I could see he had the letters we had sent him, and the little printout of our family photo that we gave him, and clearly having like really treasured these items because they meant just the world to him. And so, I mean, that was quite an initial shock for me, seeing quite how much of a difference just this tiny picture of us as a family and these letters that we had written for him, seeing quite how much that meant to him. So that was really special. But then over the next couple of days, I got to know his character, and just get to know how happy and how joyful and how content and how eager to learn he was, and how he was taking every opportunity available. And us sponsoring him as a family enabled him to go to school, which enabled him to have the dreams about going to the YDP program and going to university. So a really, really lovely person to be around, super chatty, super friendly, just really, really lovely. And then after I'd gotten to know him pretty well, we then saw where he was living, and that really shocked me. And I had seen other houses in similar conditions before, but calling it a house was a bit of a stretch, because it was just a brick cuboid that he had been living in since the age of 14. He'd been living alone in that house because his parents lived too far away for him to go to school, and even that is still a 40-minute walk away. And in this house, his bed is just an empty maize sack, which is like a tarpaulin material. There was a wheelbarrow with paper and like for writing on for his schoolwork, and some firewood, and a pot in the corner. But that was it, literally nothing else. No light, just nothing. And dirt floor, like really calling it a house was a bit of a stretch. And so having gotten to know him and get to know his character, and then seeing where he was living and realizing he not once has ever asked for anything, never complained about anything, never said anything negative, just so content with what he had, and what he had was so little, that made a huge impact on me. And to think that sponsoring a child for only £25 a month, that's 2.5 hours of minimum wage for an 18-year-old in the UK. That can send a child to school for a whole month, and it can enable children like Culture to have those dreams and aspirations, and think about going to university and things. The fact that such a little sacrifice from us can make such a big impact on them makes it completely worth it. And for me, that's made a huge difference coming back, and that was one of the highlights from the trip, I think.